Today we have a new helicopter on the bench. This is the highly anticipated Elite 7.0 from Tron Helicopters. Now today we're going to take a look inside the box and see what the contents are. Of course, this helicopter has been completely redesigned from the advanced days from ground up. It is a very compact design, it's robust, it's sleek, it is mean, and it has all of the modern features that today's pilots demand. As you can see, it comes in a beautiful new box, and they went through the process of revamping this and making it look very, very cool. As you can see, it has a very, very Tron look to it, but very beautiful box. And of course, when you get inside of the box, this is where the real cool stuff begins. Is they've moved towards this, shinier black finish on the cardboard boxes, which gives it a very polished look as opposed to the older cardboard look that they previously had. So obviously this is the canopy box. I put the canopy back in here just to show you what it looked like when it came to me. Of course, these were attached, the top portion frames were attached to the top lid of this box. It was wrapped up inside of this plastic bag as well, so it was not sent like how I'm showing it here. It was all wrapped up and nice. I'm just showing you guys so you can see what to expect whenever you open yours. This is the canopy box. Of course, we have the top upper frames there, and we're going to go ahead and close this back up for now. I've already opened up this box here, which we are going to dive deeper into here in just a moment, but we're going to finish off the inside of the box first. This is your battery tray. We can go ahead and open this up since I'm going to be starting on this very, very soon, and with hopes, I'll be bringing you guys a build video. Of course, as you can see, battery tray, same as the Advance. There are some parts that do share, but again, this is a ground up build. It's a brand new helicopter, so obviously, if it ain't broke, there's no reason to fix it, right? But this is the same battery tray as the Advance, so you can use those interchangeably if you choose to. Obviously, the boom is this bright orange that comes in the kit, and it is highly visible. It's very neon once you get it out in the sun. It's kind of crazy, like it glows. It's very, very bright, which is good for me because I like brighter booms. But here's your lower frames, of course, in the side pocket here with the boom, the lower frames there. So you'll have those for later. Of course, these are the skid pipes that come with it. Same beautiful white finish as always. And of course, with this one, I got the orange tail fin with it. So look forward to that as well. And it is the same as the other painted tail fins that you see, like with the Burke Hammer Edition Nitro or the others, where it is a very, very glossy finish. I don't know if we can get the shine to show there, but anyway, it is. It's not matte. It's actually a very shiny finish, just so you know. All right, let's get cleaned up a little bit here, and we'll open up this box here and go through the contents of it. All right, so let's take a look inside the secondary box here and see what we got. I obviously cut it open earlier. I had to look at the main gear. I'm so sorry, I know. But we are essentially still opening this together, so just so you know. Of course, obviously it comes with this bubble wrap here. Keep everything nice and safe. This main gear, man, it is just massive. It is so huge. Like there's a, I don't know if we can get there. There's this my side of my thumb there, and of course in relation to the gear. And I mean, this thing is just beefy. But it is CNC Delrin, as you would imagine from Tron. And of course, it is super, super quiet in operation. All right. Landing gear as usual. Again, these can be shared with the Advance also. Again, there's a few parts, but not many that were shared with the Advance, but these are one of those that is. We've got some extra servo mounts here. I want to say this is for Mini, but I could be wrong. It does look like Mini, so we may be able to use Minis on something. Of course, it comes with the tail push rod, the rods there. I'm trying to get this thing in focus here. It's kind of hard to tell. Obviously those are there for a later step. This does come with two different sizes. I wanted to see if I could find really quickly the other set. Maybe not. Well, we'll come across it here eventually, hopefully. But it comes with these 3 mil spacers for your blades. And it does have the sort of like the bell on top here, so it stays in place and makes it very easy to get the blades and spacers aligned. And the 3 mil are for normal size blades, and which are, is it 12 mil? I think it's 12 mil. But at any rate, you will use these with the normal size 700 blades that are on the market. So very beefy. But I like these two because they are a Delrin, and I'm not a fan of the metal ones, me personally. I feel like these give a little bit better. They allow that lead lag a little easier than some of the metal ones that you get inside your blade packs. So it's nice that they provide these and they don't rely on the blade manufacturer's spacers. So very nice of them to do that. Just some Velcro and some the battery straps and things like that. So always nice to have those included. Of course, the battery rails that come with the kit here. I think these might be the same as the Advanced too. But yeah, looks good. These are the spacers, the frame spacers that go in between the top and the lower. Here is the pinion. We're going to open this up. Give me just a second here. And as you can see, that is a beefy boy too. Very nice. I hope I'm getting that. Yeah, it looks like I am. Now, stock is a 13 tooth, as you can see there. Can you see that? I hope so. The lighting might be a little bad. But it is a 13 tooth. It is just like the other ones where this, you will end up putting this through the bottom support bearing, and then, of course, tightening this down with a light drop of Loctite to make sure that it stays in place. And, of course, you can tighten it down. So very beautiful machining there. Let's see here. This is the bottom bearing block of the main shaft, and we're going to get to the main shaft here in a moment, but it does reduce down to a 12 mil. It is a 15 mil shaft, but it reduces down to a 12 mil, and you'll see that here in just a moment. This is just for your anti-rotation bracket that goes on top. It doesn't have the carbon piece in there. It's somewhere else here in the kit, but that's what that is for. These are, of course, the motor mount side brackets or side plates. Can't quite get those screws out of the way. Anyway, but that's what these are here. Same as all the other kits as well. You always get one of those, or get two of those. Looks like, okay, so here's the 2 mil ones. Yeah, I knew there was another set in here and they were 2 millimeters. So it really depends on what blades you choose. You'll just have to, try the 3 mil or try these. The 3 mil are more standard of each, or the standard blades that are out there on the market. So these must be for some specific special sizes. So just hang on to these just in case. Depends on what manufacturer blade you use. These are your tail spacers for the tail blades. So they also provide those. Of course, these are the boom brackets that go inside the frame. And yes, we have 4 of these supersonic mounts. The pre-production one did not have that, but yours will come with the 4 provided, which is very nice. I love these things. They're so easy to use. Of course, the internal bracing in there, and yeah, pretty typical of Tron quality and machining and all the good stuff. This is a little piece of it. It's like the tank buffer that comes in the nitros, and what you'll use this for is you will actually use this to put on the edges of the front of the carbon lowers. So when the canopy rests against the frame, this will help protect the canopy from, you know, vibrating or being chewed up from the vibration. So you'll want to hang on to this. Make sure you add that at the last steps. Of course, we have the included blade holder as you would expect. Of course, as always, we have the sorry. Yeah, I was looking here because they have, in this one, they have little standoffs, and I was just looking for those. So these are going to go underneath of the tail push rod guide. And of course, this is how you feed the nuts into the boom. You just put this whole thing, sorry, I'm getting out of the way there. You're going to put this through the boom as you do all the other Tron kits and line up these nuts with this bracket here and the screws and then tighten it down. So I really like that these are lock nuts. I hated using, you know, like a plastic screw into plastic or using some kind of Loctite or whatever. I like the Nylock better, but just personal preference. Of course, here's some of the plates, carbon plates that come with it. Here is your servo balls there. So got those. This is the tensioner, the belt tensioner. This is, I think, the same as the Advance, and you know, it will operate and function the same way. Be careful you don't lose this little this spring that's in there. Just let me open this up so you can see it. I think I've touched on it before, maybe, not sure, but you don't want to lose that. See, I don't know if you can. The camera is too far away for me to see. There it is. So you can actually see how this will come out. Just make sure you don't lose that. It's very important that that's in there. But yeah, so there's your belt tensioner whenever you get to that step. Yeah, here's the motor mounts. Let me go ahead and open this up. Otherwise it will be a lot more difficult to see. So this is different. This goes inside of the frame. A lot of times it's just like a piece like this and then a piece like this, and then you kind of line them up. But that is not the case with the Elite. And so you're going to put this together. There's the little set, or the, not a set screw, but a little cap screw here that you will hold all of this together. And these are, they have like a step on them so that it actually fits and presses inside the carbon. Sorry, I'm doing a terrible job here. But yeah, there's a step on this as well as this side here. And you will, you know, press the carbon onto it. So, and then there's that bottom bearing that I was mentioning earlier, the support bearing that you'll put your pinion inside. And then of course put the nut on the bottom side there. Okay, so pretty cool. It's I like the fact that it's all one unit. This all fits inside the frame very, very nicely, and it helps with the alignment, so you're not kind of fighting for all the alignment. So pretty nice. So this also is a upgrade compared to a lot of the other ones, which kind of started with the BK Nitro. And I don't know if we can quite get a good shot in there. Oh man, if you can see it, it's a quad bearing setup. So there's two bearings on either side. And that, of course, you know, when you put the 15 mil shaft in there, like that thing's going nowhere. And it provides the rigidity and translates in stability and performance. And yeah, man, that's, I love that there's 4 bearings now. It definitely feels like just deadlocked. It's incredible. So yeah, pretty cool there. Just the bottom for the landing gear brackets, same as always. And these 2 O-rings I think have to do, I don't know if we'll be able to see that there. I don't want to open this one up because there's a ton of stuff in there. But these 2 O-rings here are for the dust caps. And of course, this is like a little spares bag, it looks like. So you have some different size washers and things like that in there. But I'm not sure if we're going to dig into this for those. Or if it's actually in with another package where maybe these are in fact extra. You know what I mean? So I'm not quite sure. We'll find out together though. Here's all the other carbon plates, and I wanna touch on this really quickly because this is something kind of new. All right, so as you can see, there are these little step things in, well, what do you call it? It's almost like a pin nut, but it's not a pin nut because there's no threads. At least I don't think there is. No, it should be. So what happens here is there is an orientation to this, okay? So when you have your, these brackets here, brackets, your bearing blocks here, you are in fact going to set these two, which are raised out here. You're going to put it underneath the bottom of that, and it's important that you don't want to have it this way because then it's going to bend the plate. It's going to bend the plate upwards, right? And so you have to have these step downs here, these kind of a step up, I guess, to meet the bottom of the bearing block. And when we do the build video, I will show that to you guys. But at any rate, here is your bearing blocks for the top and bottom, or mid actually. And of course they are machined beautifully. I don't see any markings on those at all. It's very nice. Again, so we had some more of the pieces in here for the inside brackets. And of course, again, all of the carbon plates. There's the anti-rotation bracket that is there. And yeah, same as usual. And this came out of the motor mount. So it comes with 2 of the, screws for your motor if you should need them. All right, we're getting to the good stuff here. Couple more things. Of course, this is the same as always. This is the battery tray release, and it works really, really well. I like the positive snap that it gives you. This, of course, is your tail servo bracket, and we will talk about that too. All right, when we get to the build video. All right, so the tail case. It is a newly designed tail case. I don't have the specifics as far as what is different from this to the Advance, but I do know that one of my team pilots really wants to dive into that because he still has an Advance. But what it does have is it has this pulley guide here, as well as the like a tensioner here. It's not really a tensioner. It just kind of provides a positive press on the belt so that it keeps it engaged with the teeth, and you don't get some of that, movement where the belt can come off or whatever. Of course, it also prevents a lot of the tail belt slap and stuff like that inside the boom. Of course, these are new blade grips, and very beautiful. Machining is very good. Of course, here the bell crank there. This is a side view of it. The pre-production one I had, this was actually silver. It was kind of funny, but they were, obviously finalizing things during that time. But yours will be black, just like this. And yeah, beautiful tail case. And yeah, sorry, I'm admiring it here. Of course, that belt is really thick too. That's a big boy. And of course, it has very large teeth for positive engagement. But yeah, very good stuff. There are actually things about this tail case here. I don't know if I have the notes on that. It is kind of a new design, and we can touch on that too whenever we get to the build video. But yeah, I'll make sure I have all that information handy for you guys. But there is a newly kind of configured T in here in the dampening and what have you and whatever. So it's a little different, not too bad, but yeah, I'll touch on that when we get to the build video, and I'll have the proper information for you guys. This is just an unboxing at the current moment. So yeah, all right. So is this the last piece? It is the last piece. All right, so we got the big boy. Let's see here. This head, you guys, is so freaking massive. It's so crazy how big it is. It's just wild. This is the swash plate, and it is also very, very big, very beefy, 15 mil As always, make sure that you Loctite this when you're putting it together. You're going to turn it until this feels like it's dragging just a slight bit, and then back that screw back out some. Okay, I know we've talked about that before in other build videos, but you definitely want to do that. You want to make sure that you don't miss that step, because if you miss this and you don't Loctite it, it is a bad day, or can be. So make sure you always Loctite that. All right, let's go ahead and dump all the rest of the stuff, all the goodies out. And we'll wrap this guy up. All right, so there you go. There is the collar that goes up top, and of course the brass washer that goes underneath. Make sure that it doesn't rub the wrong way. Here's that main shaft. I mean, this thing is massive. And with the quad bearing setup, I mean, it is just so solid. So as you can see here, it does step down to 12 mil, but this is the area that matters, okay? This is just for support, but this area in here is what matters. That's what gives you and keeps it from moving around and or even bending for that matter. It is a hollow shaft, but this boy's beefy. So yeah, there you go. Of course, you have all of your links and all of your plastic ball links there. Now, if you notice, I want to touch on this too really quickly. If you notice, there is two. These are the pitch links, okay? I know that might throw you off and think, why are these not it? But these are your swash links, okay? There's 3 of them there, as you can see. The servos are going to be inverted. They're not going to be where the spline is on the upper portion, closest to the swash. It's going to be further away, so you're going to invert the servos. And that helps with the overall geometry of the swash movement, you know, up and down. There is I don't really want to call it interaction, but there are things that can be felt whenever it is upright, and when you put them inverted and where the spline is lower down, when there's that arcing of the servo moving the pitch, you know, the link up and down, you can see even like how there is a rainbow effect. Well, the longer this is, of course, it helps sort of alleviate some of that negative interaction that you would get as opposed to it being a shorter link. So this lends itself to as to why it feels very, very controlled and precise in the air. So very, very cool innovation. I can't say innovation. I mean, there other people have done it too, but an addition. I will call it an addition to this model, and it does. You can definitely feel a huge difference compared to this one, the Elite, to the Advance. And yeah, that's not a sales pitch. It actually really does. You know, the Advance was amazing to begin with, but this one just seems to level it up. Like it's really amazing. So, but that's why these are longer. Just want to let you know. Now, this is the head, and there's no way for me to put this up to my hand and on camera for you guys to really see what's going on here. But I mean, this it's just so friggin' beefy. Such a huge, huge thing. But still carries the center pivot as usual. I think this is a 10 mil upper feathering shaft there. And it does have grease ports here, as you can see. Bert's going to talk a lot about these. He's going to do a video as well. But there's a grease port. These aid in crashing whenever your blades fold back. And it sort of helps keep things from completely bending up and whatever. There's more to these as well, and we'll touch on that later. But these do have the dust caps. Let me see if I can get this out of here. So I don't have any tools up here with me, but that was easy enough. And I don't know if you can quite see that, but there is a dust cap in there over the bearing, and it kind of screws in or snaps in something. And I actually haven't put one of these heads together. Mine came pre-assembled, and it had already been Loctited and whatever on the first one. So I didn't actually get to put it together, but at any rate, this screw here, of course, helps keep everything in, the bearings in, as opposed to shifting around. But that dust cap, of course, helps keep all of your grease inside of the bearings, so it doesn't end up, going down the edge of your blades or the length of your blades. So pretty cool there. I'm excited to get some flights in on it to see just how well that works, and yeah, we'll find out together. So pretty cool. But yeah, that's the last piece of it. That thing is massive. So pretty cool. Oh, where's the I missed one. Where's the... Here they are. So this is kind of new too. I'm going to take one out and show you guys because I think that is important. I mean, it's not terribly important, but it's just kind of fun because it's a new way of doing things. So if you can see here, this is, there's a channel here as well as there's a slight channel there. And so you're going to end up putting this, see the hole here, right? So there's a screw that's going to run inwards of here, as well as, let me try and fit this in here, sorry, very tight tolerance. Okay, so you're going to run a screw here. Let me get it back over here some. You run a screw here as well as on top. So very different compared to what we're typically used to of just having like, either 2 screws that run into here or 2 screws that run into here, right? So pretty cool. They got one here and then all the way through. So it obviously adds a lot of positive reinforcement, when you're really ripping on this guy. So, and we've watched Donnie rip on his, and man, it's insane. So yeah, pretty cool. A little different. We'll find out if it really makes a difference, but it probably does. Of course, last but not least, we do have the canopy, and this canopy is absolutely stunning, as you can see. Of course, it has Elite. It's a statement, as you can read there. Looks fantastic. That orange is just, it glows. So I'm very, very excited to see this in the air. But yeah, there you go, you guys, the Elite. Well, wrapping up, I'd like to say thank you so much for taking time to unbox this beautiful helicopter with me today. Hopefully you like what you see. Hopefully it's inspired you to want to get one of these and get out to the field and fly one as well. It certainly is a beautiful machine, and we look forward to seeing you guys at the field, and thank you so much for supporting Tron Helicopters.